Hi guys, coming today with a patch 9.2 Melee DPS raid tier list. As always, this is going to be super subjective. If you differ in opinion, please let me know in the comments. And as we get into it, or before we get into it, please let me say thank you guys for watching so much. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, a comment, a subscription, it helps tremendously. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That is the end goal. So yeah, we're getting close. We're 550-ish now. So yeah, thank you guys so much for all of your support and your love, and I really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get right on into this tier list, shall we? First and foremost, I want to rank the warrior specs. You know, I really just feel like these specs are just going to be absolutely broken. Just both of them broken. God tier, absolutely broken. A wonderful spec. If you're a melee DPS, this is the tier to play warrior. Both arms and fury are going to be insane. Arms, I've heard, is going to be a little bit weaker than fury once you have your double legendary and your 4-piece tier set. I've been talking to some warrior mains who multi-spec and some top tier warriors, I should preface, and they've said fury is going to end up being a little bit better. Obviously, these are great classes because they not only bring a huge amount of damage, but they also bring, you're going to be running Banner, which is a buff for your raid. You're going to have Rallying Cry, which is, you know, insane. You're going to have Battle Shout. So you're going to have like a raid buff that you're going to bring. You're going to have health for the raid. You're going to have damage. You're going to have damage for the raid. This class is going to be absolutely cracked. And it's going to be really nice in conjunction with Enhancement Shaman. So Enhancement Shaman is going to buff these already insanely overpowered warrior specs even further for progression. So the mixture of all three of these classes, this is going to be the melee DPS like trifecta. If you can get all three of these in a raid, you're really happy. They do a lot of damage, a lot of good stuff. But Enhancement Shaman, you know, while it doesn't bring a raid buff, it does bring Wind Fury Totem, which is going to buff their damage. I'm sorry, Wind Fury. Yeah, Wind Fury Totem, Wind Rush Totem, it's going to have that. You have Ankh, lots of good damage itself. The class looks insane. So I think all three of these deserve to be in the absolute S tier. Yeah, they look really good. So I guess that's all I'll say about those. They look insane. So for Outlaw Rogue, I think this class is good. Just want to check my sims real quick. I have Outlaw is pretty solid. I don't think it's the best rogue spec though, and for that reason I'm going to leave this in B tier. I don't think it's a bad class, but I don't think it rises to the level of shaman or warriors, and the reason I'm going to put it in B is because I have sub rogue in A. I think sub rogue is pretty much so far and above every other rogue spec that honestly, if you're not playing sub, I think you're gonna feel that. Like, you're gonna notice that you're not doing subs damage, right? I don't think the rogue specs are bad, but I do not think that they rise to the level of sub rogue. I don't think assassination or outlaw are bad by any means. I think they're great specs. They're gonna do a lot of damage. But if you're gonna play a rogue spec, you're gonna be wanting to play sub more than likely, just because of how good it is. And for that reason, I kind of have them in this order. So yeah, Demon Hunter does not look good. I would definitely have it below the rogue specs. I don't think it's C tier. It does have the raid buff, but it doesn't feel good to play. The 4-piece really doesn't do much. It feels pretty bad. The tier set in general feels pretty bad. I know they're getting a couple compensation buffs, and maybe that'll even them out. But at the moment, as things stand right now, I'd absolutely have them in B tier, but below assassination, assassination and outlaw. So, survival hunter. As a hunter main myself, let me tell you, I do not want to play this spec because I don't like playing melee specs. I can play them. I just prefer to play ranged. I enjoy ranged a lot more. But this class does look really good. It's had some nerfs that have really kind of knocked it down a tier. It was OP, like insane, but it's been nerfed a little bit. I still think it's a good class, like a good class damage wise, but it kind of gives me like Rogue vibes. I mean, it just doesn't, it doesn't bring much to the table. You've got, what, Turtle? And that's pretty much it. Doesn't offer a lot. It's a melee hybrid spec that gives, you know, kind of ranged. So you're going to have bombs that are ranged. You're going to have kill command that's ranged. But it's just not, it's just not very good. I'm going to put it below, I'm going to put it below the Rogues, above Demon Hunter. I don't think it's bad. I think it's playable, but I think if you're a hunter, you're going to be wanting to play Marksman for most of the tier. BM for single target. Apparently, BM's getting a rework on the 4-piece for AoE damage, so that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I think it's kind of fitting there. Ret Pally, let's move along. This spec is horrible. Sorry. I don't really know what else to say. This spec is bad, alright? I would have this, like, next to Affliction. If I okay, it's better than Affliction, but, like, it's down in the dirt right now, boys. It's not the spec you want to be playing. I'm not going to put it in D tier. Am I? What are our other options for D tier? Because I'm going to put something in every tier, so... Ret mains are going to hate me for this one, but it's going in the dog shit tier. Unlucky. It's just not good. There's not enough damage there. It doesn't bring much to the raid. I guess, you know, it brings a couple defensive cooldowns that are nice. But really, if you're going to bring a DPS that's in melee range, bring one of these three, or even this one. Don't bring this. Feral Druid, same thing. They were going to be cracked at the beginning of the tier. They were going to have a lot of damage, but then their tier set got nerfed. So now they're pretty much where they were in 9.1. I mean, they'll have, relatively speaking, about the same damage in comparison to other classes that they did this tier. So I don't see it being an insane class by any means. I think it's going to be pretty mediocre. I'd keep this in D tier as well, but I'm going to put it above Red, I'll be honest, because Red's in the dirt for me. Windwalker looks really, really horrible this tier. Just, I don't know what happened to this class. This class, everybody thought was going to be just insane. I mean, mostly because of how it was looking on Soul Render. Those really, really bumped its numbers up, but this class did not. This class looks like it needs help. It really does. Windwalker is just not looking like the move this tier. I would... You know, Brewmaster looks fun. Mistweaver looks fun. Windwalker ain't it, boys. If you're a monk, it might be time to change. So Unholy and Frost DKs are interesting, right? They have raid utility, but they have almost no damage. Looking at the sims that I've been looking at, they're below Windwalker Monk, which is terrible. I have Windwalker at 14k, and in comparison, the highest I have is Enhancement at 18k. So they're below Windwalker in damage, both of them. But they have AMZ and they have Mass Grip. So it's hard to put them in the D tier because they have good utility, right? Whereas these three classes do not really have good utility. I mean, Windwalker has raid buff, but you can get it from Mistweaver or Brewmaster, and Brewmaster looks really good, so you have other ways to get that. Red has defensive utility, but like, it's Red is Red, right? So Feral has literally nothing. Does Feral have any utility at all? I can't even think of utility there. They don't have Roar, right? They don't have Innervate. Yeah, I'm gonna actually put Feral below Windwalker, I think. I think these are C tier specs. They have AMZ, they have Mass Grip. I think you'd rather have a Blood DK though. Their damage is so low, it's pretty abysmal. I hope these get buffs. Honestly, I hope everything C and below gets buffed. I hope they nerf Survival or just delete the spec. You know, one of the two, really. Rogues are fine. Arms Warriors are insane. Demon Hunter's playable. Enhancement's God tier. Yeah, I think that kind of sums up my my raid list. So if you guys enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a really, really wonderful day. Peace out.